Hello, I am Scott Floyd. I'm going to present to you two assessment tools that I use and one tool that I plan to use. The first tool is Edmentum ExactPath. As the principal at Schofield Middle School in Aiken County, South Carolina, I use Edmentum ExactPath to provide a true learner-centered instructional and curriculum environment. Through an intense diagnostic assessment of foundational and grade-level concepts and skills, a tailored path of learning is created for each student that includes learning modules and formative assessments. This individualized computer-assisted instruction path is an excellent method of filling gaps in learning for students who are below grade level in particular concepts or skills as determined by the diagnostic assessment and the many adjusted assessments throughout the path. You see, each quick formative assessment narrows the path for each student to drill down from the 6-lane interstate to the narrow path through the forest. This method of assessment and thus tailored instruction is extremely efficient in the world of classrooms filled with 28 students who are each at different levels of skill development in literacy and mathematics. However, Edmentum is a CAI, computer-assisted instruction. While the actual assessments and learning modules that are paced and provided for individual students are an excellent method of building skills via modules filled with video examples, interactive practice, and consistently embedded reinforcement and correction via formative assessments, the most powerful aspect of ExactPath are the tools provided to the teachers for their instruction, small group instruction. You see, based upon the data collected from the original diagnostic and the consistently responsive formative assessments, the following is organized for teachers. Student grouping, based upon not just grade level categories, but also by the particular concept or skill. 20-minute lesson plans for teaching the indicated skill and concept in small groups. Printable and interactive electronic resources particular to the skill or concept for those small group instruction as well. As you can see, there are many positive attributes to Edmentum. However, I do have some concerns with the program. The most significant concern is the need for developing teachers to effectively use the data to drive their instruction. Teachers are already extremely overwhelmed, and it takes time, a true dedicated trainer, and a growth mindset in order for teachers to develop a thorough understanding of how to develop specifically tailored small group lesson plans using the tools provided with Edmentum. Now, how does Edmentum ExactPath fit into the big picture of what we do as public educators? The majority of students in public schools are cultural minorities, and this percentage is significantly increasing each year. However, the representation of minority students in advanced coursework is not increasing. In fact, if you look in the most advanced classrooms, the vast majority of students in these classrooms come from dominant culture. They are white, middle-class students. Many times, students of color are overlooked for these tremendous opportunities at educational advancement due to nuances in data, traditional measures of assessment, and affective impacts upon student performance. I included these students who show potential, access, and opportunities increase. By systematically filling gaps in students' mastery of concepts and skills, these students who would otherwise be left behind are subjected to a classroom in which they are not challenged, thus not developed, are now given the opportunity of a lifetime to reroute their educational development towards the path of their dreams. Now that is an exact path. The second tool I want to show you is Mastery Connect. Mastery Connect provides a database of South Carolina standards aligned assessments for teachers to use for gathering formative data to measure student performance. Teachers create trackers that import their class rosters for the purpose of assigning assessments to students. The CFA's common formative assessments and the quarterly benchmark assessments are the most commonly used assessments for measuring students' mastery of content standards. While Mastery Connect does provide assessments that are supposed to be aligned to our standards, my district has chosen to create these CFAs and benchmarks themselves. The assessments are labeled based upon the South Carolina standard and indicator that they assess. Students take the assessments either on a device or on paper. In case of paper assessments, teachers can scan them in for grading using a document camera. However, we have moved towards computer testing for the most part, considering the increase in devices that we now have. Mastery Connect organizes the data into several different levels for educators Students and parents to understand and use to make educational decisions from the individual student level, teacher level, school-wide, and district levels. The quarterly benchmark data is supposed to serve as a predictor of summative scores on the end of the year SC Ready assessments as teachers and administrators meet after each quarterly benchmark assessment to analyze the data and create action plans for addressing any deficits in learning. As you can see, Mastery Connect does offer some valuable tools for educators to use when assessing students. However, the navigation of the program is not so user-friendly. For example, in order to pull the most important data reports, one has to proceed through levels of the program that seem unnecessary. Also, the program does not talk to our main data management program, PowerSchool. Synchronization of these two programs would allow much more efficiency and less opportunity for data errors within our organization. I'll continue to use both of these tools as an instructional leader. Adminum ExactPath is still fairly new, so I look forward to the sustained impact of this platform for addressing individual student instructional needs. As a district, we plan to move away from Mastery Connect and towards PowerSchool assessment so that our formative assessments and data are connected with our primary student data management system. Plickers is something that was introduced in a faculty meeting. I asked for a few teachers to present to our faculty how to use Plickers as a quick assessment tool to use during instruction for the purpose of checking for understanding as well as for quick quizzes, formative assessments. Although I've never used Plickers as they were not invented when I was a teacher, I have been impressed and intrigued at their efficiency at gathering student academic data, as well as how easy to use the data can be for analysis, for importation into a gradebook, and for presentation to a chart form. However, upon reflection, if I am to be an instructional leader, I must lead by example. Plickers can be used for gathering data for a variety of purposes and a variety of subjects. I enjoy leading professional development with my faculty and staff, but I also enjoy providing professional learning opportunities for others at conferences. Plickers questions interspersed throughout my presentations, as well as at the culmination of a presentation, could provide me with the valuable information for improving my presentation for future audiences. This Plickers data can also be used to provide the needed support for my teachers who do not demonstrate mastery of the PD that I provide to them. Thank you for viewing my presentation on 2 technology tools that I currently use and one that I plan to use. Thank you.